Episode 53.
Sassy Cowl presents.
Hello.
Hello. Once again, I never got a notification for the link because I was just sitting here for like 10 minutes being like, oh, it'll show up eventually. And then I just went to your post from 59 minutes ago, and that was the last notification that I got. So
Really?
yeah, I was sitting here for at least since you posted the link, just being like, yeah, I'm sure it'll happen any second now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to actually post about it earlier, and then I get sent running errands for people who can't leave the house. And then I got back like an hour before we were supposed to do this. Like, I better just post a little reminder. So I don't know. I don't know if Kirby's seen it or if he's thinking, oh, we're back to 8 o'clock.
I sent him a private message right after your link, so in case he sees that alert or something. But yeah, I sent him a message earlier today too. Didn't see anything, so I don't know if it's just away from computer.
Yeah, I was going through too, trying to figure out, okay, how many episodes have we done? Because we didn't record one, but we have enough from Saturday to take care of that. So this, I think, would be 53.
I'm gonna have to go with your word on that one. So
Yeah, we'll just assume it's 53. Because looking at the files, that would have been 50. Or would that have been? No, maybe this 52 is the last one. 51. How many have we actually done since we started this? But it's not that many. How can we not remember?
well, we did the big colonoscopy episode. That was the first one back, right?
Yeah. And then,
then
oh, maybe this is only 52 because I'm just looking at the files that I have on here.
yeah, because then we had like a week or two off, right? Or at least 1 week off right away. You had an anniversary.
Yeah, what would oh, you know what? I think the last one's not on here. So the first one we did was on the 30th. So I don't know. I got to go through my files. We'll just take it to episode
50. To those listening and or watching, if I'm a little sassy tonight, I blame Sassy Cow, the milk for sassy cows. So just a little plug, one of our unofficial sponsors.
So a little bit of news for you. While I was out running those errands, I had to stop at Meijer here in West Bend. So stopped in there, and I ran into an old friend from
Pepsi Jake.
No, one of your fellow pig associates, kind of, just not from Kewaskum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I ran into Tim. So we talked for a minute. And, said I would tell him hello, or tell you hello from him.
So is this where you say surprise and his window shows up in the Zoom link here?
No,
No.
no. But we
Yeah,
couldn't
good old.
really get him to do this back when we had a comic book store and he was a customer, so it would probably be pretty difficult to get him to do it now. Um, yeah, he might have been there stealing children or something. I'm not sure. He said he was looking at Power Rangers toys, but
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, that's classic code for stealing children. So
yeah. And he was with his wife, but as soon as he saw me and said hello, she like veered off and like wanted a different
she had to
direction.
go to the car.
Yeah, she's trained still. She had to go wait in the car. She's like, oh, now I gotta go wait in the car, just like old times. So,
Yeah, Tim.
so
He
yeah,
didn't.
he hasn't changed. I mean, he's got this thing covering his face like this now, but I think that's pretty.
Oh, he really just like let his hair, like goatee and stuff, grow into.
No, you could tell he had that underneath it though. Not too long because you see people sometimes with the beards like sticking down out of their mask
Yeah.
on all sides. little hanging off above, little underneath. And especially for the people that don't actually wear them over their noses, they come under here and then they got the, I don't know if it's mustache or just nose hair. And nose hair is the whole reason I have a mustache because you can't, which there's space between my mustache and my nose, but for some reason the nose hair is not as obvious sticking out there because I got the mustache and I blends it in, I guess.
Man, these are the kind of behind the scenes secrets you don't get on a normal comic club podcast because there's just no outlet for you to express that. You always try to, but we cut it out of the show. We try to be like, oh, we don't have time.
Well, we try to make that one very accessible to people. We want people to be able to tune into it, listen, and enjoy it, and learn about some comic books and stuff like that. And it, I just feel like having drawn out nose hair discussions isn't doesn't really fit that particular forum.
Yeah, noticing Spawn in the background there because he's right behind you. It's pretty easy to see it. Oh, did you not know that?
Hey,
Um,
up on me.
there's these Todd McFarlane, Chadwick Boseman, Spawn 311 tribute covers that came out today, uh, showing Spawn, Wakanda Forever, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and the light of Marvel doing all their tributes on the back covers and the banner and stuff. But yeah, I saw this one on the store shelves. So I decided to. It's a black and white one, so I was going to color it in and sign it to Kurt. So
Are they done now with the little yellow back? Better than
back
whatever.
I haven't seen it on some of the stuff I picked up today. One of the things I got that was a variant cover, so I'm assuming they weren't putting them on variants, or at least it's not on this variant.
I could
But yeah,
check. I got. I opened the box for today, but I haven't looked. I gotta look and make sure. I got so many boxes down here. I gotta make sure. Oh, this isn't even the box for today. Oh, I know where it is. Here, I gotta look at my comics again today.
how many Deadpool heads showed up today?
I couldn't remember what we were getting, but I knew it wasn't much. So the box seems kind of heavy for not getting anything. Part of that's because they threw the Marvel previews in here.
Did they send like 60 copies of a robot book or anything?
Yeah, maybe I better double check. I cracked it open and I didn't really. I did get. I got to look. I don't remember who ordered this. I remember it being talked about, but it's the Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventures audio series thing.
So most likely Kurt's dad, if not Katie, but mostly Kurt's dad,
Yeah,
probably.
one of those. Um, Series 9, Volume 2. Yeah, and I can't remember who was talking about it, but um, that's one of theirs. Somebody else was talking about. Who else was talking about like audiobooks and stuff recently? Listening to something like that. I feel like there was a few people involved in the conversation. I think it was actually talked about on the club at one point. And then I don't know who this would have been for. Scream magazine. Actually, I'm not sure. I thought this was something that got canceled, but I think it might be one of those things that that Kurt never took off of there, and we got. So I'll have to check with Kirby and Shelley.
Yeah, that'd be my first instinct, especially with the magazine. Like
Yeah, because
it
they
would
were
fit
getting
under
stuff like
Damon's.
this. So
It would fit under Damon's interest, but maybe not the magazine portion. I think that's where Shelley and Kirby probably lean.
yeah, but yeah, they were getting some of these magazines, and then I think they stopped getting them, and then it was kind of like the sporadic thing. Um, so if Kirby were here, I could just ask him. I mean, I'm sure it was for them. I just don't know if it's actually for them, or I'm the proud owner of the Best of Scream magazine annual volume 2. Blood,
So
guts, gore, and more.
it's got Courtney Cox, it's got Drew Barrymore. Oh wait, it's not that.
It might. I don't know. Although it's the Best of Scream. The Best of Scream magazine. So is it just articles that they've collected over the years and they just put them in here?
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, they got Vincent Price on the cover, so might because what's he been in since Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, I don't know. Batman 66. Wait, that was before.
Yeah. Thriller.
As,
Yeah, Thriller was before that.
as a little teaser for the end of the show to get people that will hang on to the very last seconds, I will reveal a new toy collectible purchase that I got today. So that will be unveiled towards the end of the show. So if people were about to turn off or click off because there wasn't enough nose hair talk,
Yeah. Oh, click off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we can put up posters. That's what I'll start doing. I'll start going through all the old posters. This is a new poster because I just got it. That's what we need is more posters that we can't hang up anywhere.
Yeah.
Just for these,
What's the name? My video game?
my
something?
video game ate my homework. When school gets you down, it's time to level up.
Click off.
That's what I would do. School gets you down, click off.
Yeah.
Click off school. And then yeah, we got Runaways. It's actually more than I was thinking was coming this week. Actually, I think mostly it's Marvel previews, but I got 2 copies of Runaways and a bunch of Marvel previews and stuff. So this is probably like $60 in freight now.
Yeah.
Freight thing. Is that it? Is there something else hiding in here? Oh we have oh yeah. Oh, okay. The invoice is in here, so I could look at that too. We have Savage Avengers also. So 2 copies of Savage Avengers, 2 copies of Runaways number 32, and more Marvel previews catalogs than I know what to do with, because no customers, nobody comes around here anymore. They're like, yeah, COVID.
Will you turn the light on, the open sign? Have you been turning that on?
No,
Maybe that's your problem.
maybe I should turn the red light on. That'd probably attract some customers.
Maybe Roxanne.
Yeah. No, she don't have to turn on the red light.
No. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, there's not an actual diamond rep that I can get a hold of now, so I have to write another email saying, "Hey, we're closed. Stop sending us things," and hoping that anything that they do send in the meantime that they that somebody purchases. So Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah. My new computer keeps popping up all these notifications for me. It's created my first backup um, like 100 times since I got it. There's this little pop-up that says, "We've created your first backup." It's like every day it lets me know it's created my first backup. Like my first backup today.
We've created your 70th backup. Congratulations.
Is your 70th first backup. It always says first.
And your first 50th backup. Halloween's upon us if you haven't looked at a calendar in a while.
I haven't.
Okay, well, it's upon us. It's so that leads me to question a very bring a question very important. If you had to choose between three different Halloween centric cereals, one being Count Chocula, another one being a Frankenberry, and another one being Boo Berry, between those three cereals, if you had to pick one box, if you had a gun to your head and somebody said you have to choose one of these,
Um,
and it has to be your favorite, and you're attached to a lie detector test, and if you just pick whatever you're in the mood for, even though it's not your favorite, they'll shoot you. You have to pick your ultimate favorite. Do you have one?
I'm gonna go with Count Chocula. I'm a chocolate lover, so um, that would be my first pick. Um, it would probably be probably Frankenberry in second place then. And you know what? There's some fruity mummy thing too that you don't see very often too, isn't there? Like
Some booty mummy.
wasn't it, what's it called? There's like a fourth one. It's rare. You don't see it that often, but I think it was just I think it reappeared. I want to say like last year. I have to check, but I want to say it's like some mummy type character, and it's like a fruity thing, not like one berry, but like a bunch of fruit.
I do believe that there would be like one that they would throw in and then ultimately just decide, all right, let's just stick with the three or something. But yeah, I can't think of what that fruity mummy would
Fruity
be. So
yummy mummy or something.
um, the
Maybe
question
was it.
the question spawned out realizing that I didn't have any of those cereals this year, and while I would also go for Count Chocula, um, uh, I had my choice between Boo Berry and Frankenberry because Count Chocula was gone. So I went with some Boo Berry. I went with your last choice, but I think I only went with that one just because that's the one I would normally have the least. So I figured I had to show a little love to the ghost, as I like to do in October.
Um, Now, I know this is a competitor, so you might not want to hear this, but having just been at Meyer, I know that they have them. They have the family size boxes.
Mhm.
I know that they had Count Chocula, and I'm pretty sure that they had Frankenberry. It might have only been those two, though.
Now, since we both would prefer the Count Chocula, this poses a great question on what you would choose between Count Chocula, Cocoa Krispies, Cocoa Puffs, or Cocoa Pebbles. Is there a immediate? I know my immediate answer. Do you have one of those?
I think flavor wise and everything, um, I want to say Cocoa Pebbles, but Cocoa Puffs has more to it. So, so they went out on the satisfaction if you're actually looking to eat something.
Yeah,
Whereas like Cocoa Krispies and Cocoa Pebbles, you're eating mostly uh, air in a crisp chocolatey casing. So,
yeah. It's funny you said that because my sister-in-law, when we're talking about candy bars, I think last Halloween time, and I just said how I love Kit Kats. She's like, "Ugh," she's like, "It's chocolate air." I'm like, "What?"
no, I
It's
think
not funny.
actually Kit Kats are pretty solid. I mean, they do have those crispy wafers in there that have salt
Yeah,
in them, but overall, I mean, it's a pretty solid.
I think yeah, she's probably just referring to like not as much substance as you were getting out of like a Snickers bar or whatever. But
Um,
but yeah,
Although I
going
prefer
back.
Kit Kat because I'm not really a peanut lover. Um, so so yeah, I'd go with Kit Kat or Milky Way. I like it's Snickers without the peanuts.
It's funny. I
Because they
see there was
leveling
a
them up. You got Kurt that likes the Three Musketeers, which is just the nougat. You add a little uh, caramel or caramel or however you want to say it, because everybody's got their own. Uh,
yeah.
into the Three Musketeers, and then it's Milky Way. Throw in a few peanuts, boom, Snickers.
See, I always pronounce it caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah, caramel. A little different than how other people pronounce it, but um,
Caramel is.
if I had to choose, going back to those cereals, I think I'm going to go with the Cocoa Pebbles. I think you're right with the Cocoa Pebbles and the Cocoa Puffs being pretty, definitely more superior than a Cocoa Crispy. But I like the idea of being able to, when you have pebbles, whether it's cocoa or fruity, um, I like the experience of shoveling a lot of stuff in one spoonful. The idea of like just going into like a mound, like once you do that with the cocoa puffs, they're just gonna fall off or something, whatever. You can only get so much on there, but with a spoonful of pebbles, it just like you gotta have skill to get a lot on there. So
Now, a lot of people, see, I've always liked soggy cereal, and a lot of people don't like soggy cereal. So you always have these cereals stays crispy in milk. I'm like, yeah, because I like to let it soak up some of that milk, and then I'll eat it. So like the pebbles work good for that because they soak up the milk, and then you can have a really good spoonful of this soft, milk soaky,
yeah.
chocolatey goodness. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say one of the worst cereals to have soggy, cornflakes that just seems to just like eating a pile of wet leaves.
I do like soggy frosted flakes. And actually, I even though I know that they make like a chocolate frosted flakes, I
Yeah.
actually like to mix them with like a chocolatey cereal like the Cocoa Pebbles. They make some a good combination. Although when I eat something like that, I also tend to use chocolate milk versus regular milk, and then I have breakfast dessert is what I'm really having because cereal isn't a dessert enough. It's not a sugary snack enough for me. I have to make it to like a full fledged breakfast dessert.
Well, then I would like to go back to our sponsor for Sassy Cow Creamery because they have a whole chocolate milk that is honestly the best chocolate milk that I know. Whole chocolate milk from Sassy Cow. That would be great in a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles or Puffs.
Yeah, and a whole chocolate milk is definitely good too. Because I've had some lower fat content chocolate milks that said that they had more chocolate, but I think they really taste better with a more full fat uh, chocolate milk that doesn't even need to boast more chocolate. Um, just higher fat content of chocolate milk is superior.
Yeah, the Sassy Cow whole chocolate is similar to like a chocolate ice cream melted type of flavor. Then there's the Lamer's Dairy in the glass bottle milk that is like a fudgesicle type of chocolate. Uh, that one's also very good. But yeah, between those two, that's where my loyalty lies. So
Um,
going, yep,
y- y- Talking about having to add stuff to it. Um, I'll use like flavored coffee creamers in my coffee, because as I've said many times in the past, I don't really drink coffee. I drank like coffee flavored sugar milk, usually with a lot of chocolate. And so trying to think of the brand creamer, but they have like the Hershey's. And it's like,
International Delight.
yeah, but it's like the Hershey's with caramel, caramel, caramel
Caramel.
stuff in it. And so every once in a while, when nobody's looking, I kind of, I'm having a glass of chocolate milk. I add a little of that in there, and it gives it kind of a Milky Way milk type flavor. Then, yeah, it's like drinking a
There
milk.
used, there used to be Milky Way milk. It might still exist somewhere, but Coca-Cola distributed. They had Three Musketeers, Milky Way, and I think Hershey's. They had those all as milk chug bottles. But it's been
Somehow,
so long, I don't
oh,
remember.
there's nougat in my milk. Sounds like it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I think it was less chunky and just more smooth.
Uh, yeah. You get the Snickers milk, and it's packed with peanuts. So.
Yep, yep. Yeah, there is a peanut allergy warning on the Snickers milk. Um, there is Snickers coffee creamer from Coffee Mate if you've ever had that.
Um,
Oh, that's right. You said you're not a
no,
Snickers.
no, I haven't had that. I'm trying to think if I don't know if Tammy's tried that or not. Now she doesn't drink those now that she's a full-on vegan. She has like, I don't know, uh, almond milk creamer stuff or whatever it is. Not that, because we all know that there's no such thing as almond milk. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's often
no, nobody wants to say, yeah, I'm drinking nut juice. So
it's often spelled as one word, almond milk, meaning yeah, it's not almond space milk. It's almond milk. So yeah, um,
but her and Ethan both drink almond milk. They greatly prefer that to soy milk. They never really cared much for the soy milk. Um, I don't like the almond milk. I don't know if I've ever tried soy milk or not, but I have tried the almond milk. But again, not really a fan of nuts, and it does. Even though they claim it doesn't really taste much like um, almonds, I can really detect the almond flavor in there. So
and I myself prefer Sassy Cow Creamery for fresh standing cow milk, cows that stand. Hold on, farmstead fresh. That's what I meant to say.
yeah, so yeah, I
Going
suppose if you're just trying to, try uh, a different dietary option, maybe instead of just going right into soy milk or something like that, you could mix a little regular cow milk with like the almond stuff, and then it would be like cow nut juice.
and get some good old cow nuts.
Yeah, grab the bull by the horns.
You get cow pies, cow nuts.
Hmm.
Going back to the cereal thing, I would throw in one other competition, but it's no longer being made. It hasn't been made in quite some time. But have you ever had Nesquik cereal? I think it was just called.
Was
Maybe
it
it was.
just
I
quick,
think it was Nesquik.
or was it after they changed quick to Nesquik?
Yeah,
Because
that's what I was trying to think if the
difficult to
cereal
say
just had
Nestle
Quick on it, but I
quick.
think it was. I think it was called Nesquik at that time, but they were very good. But they were tiny little like beads, balls of it's like a cocoa puff but a lot smaller, so it almost took the experience you get from the cocoa pebbles of getting a lot on a spoon. But yeah, that was my jam for a long time.
No, I never had that. It does sound somewhat familiar, but I you name pretty much anything, and there's been a cereal. Uh,
Yeah.
they've been doing
Yeah, this one, once it came out, I just kept having it, and then eventually they got rid of it. So I tried to make it last as much as I could until it was gone. I did my part. So if anybody is upset that it doesn't exist anymore, I did everything in my power to do it. And so yeah, here's an image of the box here.
uh,
The box actually represents them bigger than what I remember. I remember them being pretty small because this looks like a Cocoa Puff size, but um, I remember, and picture is probably enlarged for detail.
yeah, enlarged to show texture or whatever. You're like, wow,
Not actual
big
size.
balls of chocolate in my bowl.
Yeah, like these are, I guess it would be, since there's the Nesquik bunny. I guess it would, even though Cocoa Puffs often look like rabbit turds, I think Nesquik,
Yeah, I've actually
Nesquik,
known people to do that, like throw some, you know, cocoa puffs out in the backyard and whatever, and then try to like lure somebody over to actual rabbit turds and be like, "Here's some more cocoa puffs. Oh, go ahead and eat them."
yeah, we had a lot
I
of rabbit.
do that never, like, because that's disgusting.
We
But
had a lot of rabbits growing up, so having to clean the pans under the cages and stuff like that. Maybe that's why I preferred Cocoa Pebbles, just because
yeah,
I,
you see the rabbit, and then you see the little brown balls, and you don't, your mind doesn't just jump to yummy.
unless I poured some Sassy Cow Creamery milk, the rabbit turd milk of choice. Well, now we hold on.
Seriously, we better start getting paid for this.
Nope, we just lost them as a sponsor now.
Oh,
They didn't. They apparently didn't like. They're getting a live feed of this, even though it's not live. But yep, just got word. They're done.
yeah. Well, they rushed to have that test market for uh, the the cow nut juice, and it didn't go over well.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yep. But yeah, I not knowing if Kirby was going to show up, I was debating on when I was going to lightly talk about something that came out today that I was very excited about.
I was gonna bring it up, but I thought, well, maybe we'll give it a little bit just in case. I didn't want to bring it up too soon, in case we
Yeah,
get a sudden visit, like, oh, I forgot, or whatever, and then he can join us for the last 5 minutes or whatever. But
I was definitely going to save the majority of it for when we discuss it over at the Crimson Cowl Comic Club. So this would almost be a little crossover plug type thing. But
and
um,
how soon are we talking about it?
it so it would not be this Saturday, but the next one. Um,
Something I meant to bring up for this Saturday, but I didn't, is this Saturday is Halloween. And we hadn't really discussed what we should have is like, did anybody want to bring, granted, you get Damon and Kirby and people who regularly bring Halloween themed stuff to the table, so to speak. Um, but it would have been a good time to bring some of that stuff in for people who don't normally bring it in. Although I read superhero comics, those people are always wearing costumes. It's
well, this could be a little preview on what I was going to focus my stack on because there's a Legend of the Swamp Thing Halloween Spectacular that came out this year. This came out at the beginning of the month or end of September, so I've been holding on to that one. Stranger Things has a Halloween special that came out as well. So there's a one shot of that. Then this one I'm very excited for from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina presents the Madam Satan one shot that came out. So I was excited about that one. And then something that I may or may not have bought because the cover is pretty attractive, but the Grim Tales of Terror, the 2020 Halloween special. Normally, I've never read any Grim Tales. I know some of the guys have and stuff, but I saw that cover come through, and it's just like, I'm curious what this book would be like. So I don't think I've purchased any Zenoscope books, but oh, it's rated M for mature, so never mind. I can't read.
We'll have to talk about that on Under the Cowl.
Yeah, I'll just have to stick to Madam Satan. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess just to lightly talk about what people are wondering, what book are you guys talking about for the club? Blah blah blah. Well, of course, this is a big day today, so I had to go and get the giant size final issue of Batgirl number 50. Oh wait, is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, we've been waiting about that, or waiting for that one for I just like forever. You got
Yeah,
like
it's
copies of that, right?
yes, I do. That's why it's giant size. It's because I put a bunch of them in one bag and board. This actually has the first appearance for the upcoming Batwoman character. I think Riley is the name for the new Batwoman season 2. That'll probably premiere in January after Ruby Rose stepped down, and then I think Javica, I think is the name of the new actress. They debuted her costume and look and stuff this past
Right.
week.
It's going to be a different character, right?
Yeah, I think it's Riley something, but apparently, because I wasn't reading the Batgirl series, but they say that for the DC Comics canonical storyline that she's in here, and because I think it was a brand new for television, never done for comics, but yeah, I figured I'd just pick it up off the rack and
Well,
give that
yeah,
a
I
shot.
suppose they probably wanted to introduce in the comics first, just to make sure that there's no ownership disputes on,
Yeah, there you go.
everything. So
And what greater way to introduce her in the series finale of Batgirl? But maybe that'll spin off into a new Batwoman series.
yeah,
But no, that's not the book we were talking about. That was just a little joke. Of course, I'm talking about Penultiman, number 1. This is something that I actually had on my list, and I don't know if I forgot if it got unclicked or something, but I never did get it in the mail. And then I saw it on the shelf today, and I'm like, hey, I never got this. So now I picked up Penultiman because, if anything, this is the title that is made for me. For anyone that listens to the Crimson Cowl Comic Club, I get very excited.
you basically are a penultimate.
Pretty much, yeah, almost literally. But no, that wasn't it. Instead, I was actually talking about the penultimate issue of X-Ray Robot with issue number 3 here. This is the Greg Smallwood cover. I wanted to pick up the issue off the rack because I have a bunch on pre-order from Midtown, but I made my first trip to a comic book store since the closing of the Crimson Cowl back in January, but have continued to shop at the quote unquote store through your front porch and driveway and garage.
More of a side porch, really.
Yeah. I guess to me it's front porch because that's the only entrance I've ever went in. Yeah. I don't think I went through the other entrance.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
really don't use our front door. Actually, so there's a little, because you got like a front door and then a little area and another door, and usually there's a lot of stuff in between those doors, and so you can't really get to the door. I hope that my house never catches on fire and the front door is the only escape route, because yeah, we're all toast. But yeah, we don't use the front door. It's always up through the driveway and into the side.
Well, once you go back and edit and put this episode together, that'll be a reminder from your past self to open up your fire escapes.
Well,
unless you have a lot of butter in the house, if you're going to be toast.
Yeah, I never really thought about it, but I think, yeah, we've got a front door and a side door. So not an actual back door. And that's probably my wife's doing, because she absolutely refuses to let anybody come in the back door. But
Sassy Cow Creamery. Get it now. It's the back door of milks.
Speaking of life stories, we were talking about cereal, and I was going to mention this too. And then we'll go back to the comics. Um, but the one thing I was going to bring up is that whenever there's a new cereal, it's not like original. It'll be something that's like they'll mix a couple cereals together, or they'll add a slightly different flavor to it. The one thing is we were talking about Cocoa Puffs, and the difference is like the Nesquik cereal and stuff is they add they add the peanut balls to the Cocoa Puffs, and suddenly they have Reese's Puffs cereal. I was going to bring that up, and then it reminded me of the Reese's story from my wife. I believe I don't know what grade she was in, but she likes to tell this. She's embarrassed the children by telling this one too. That when she was in school, they were talking about candy or whatever, and they're talking about different candies that they like. Was going to say I like Reese's Pieces, but instead she blurted out, "I like Reese's Penis," and I just think, well, it's great that she didn't have a kid in the class named Reese, because
everyone looks at Reese.
So many problems. But can you just imagine being a kid and like blurting out to class, "I like Reese's Penis"?
Yeah. So
I can totally see her doing, because she's always like mixing stuff up. She was making spaghetti yesterday, and I get called paw here, so she was talking to me about the pasta, and she called the pasta, I think she called it Papa, and then she was calling me to tell me about it. She wanted me to check to see if it was done, and she called me pasta, and and then she referred to the pasta as Papa, so it was.
Pasta.
Yeah, I could see her like blurting out, "I like Reese's Penis."
Which was she excited when Reese's eventually came out with Nutrageous? It's the best of both worlds. Or one word.
Yeah, one of these times she's gonna start watching these and listening to them, and I'm probably going to be served divorce papers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a Reese's fast break out of there before she cups you.
But yeah, the cereal thing, I mean, it is true. It's like there's never original cereals anymore. It's like we take something like Captain Crunch. You were talking about which video game cereal was it? It was basically like Captain Crunch with some marshmallow.
We talked about like the Mario and Zelda cereal in the past.
Yeah, and so that's what they do. They'll take one of their other cereals. They'll make something from, okay, let's take our Captain Crunch and our marshmallows from our Lucky Charms, and boom, it's a Mario.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to think now if like they had a Smurf cereal when those movies were coming out, and I think that was like a Boo Berry-esque type of thing where they just kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna slap the Smurfs characters on there, but now it's Boo Berry, but it's Smurfs.
So,
yeah, I do remember the Reese's Puffs when they came out, and that being a pretty big game changer. Having them much later now in modern times, they I don't remember them unless they just dumbed down the flavor, but I guess I remember them better. They're still good.
They're
but I think
too peanut buttery. Those Reese's
too.
Puffs. Yeah, I feel that it's not a good enough balance between the chocolate and the peanut butter. The peanut butter really outweighs the chocolate. I think it should have more chocolate, less peanut butter. But that's just me. What do I know?
Well, you definitely know Sassy Cow Creamery. The grade A pasteurized, homogenized milk of choice. X-ray robot number 3. So yeah, I wanted to pick it up off the shelf and not wait for my many copies to arrive in the mail. Because if I'm appearing, making my first comic book cameo, I did want to sit around for 4 or 5 days while everyone else is, buying it, reading it, and
Hey, I
I'm just
read your
waiting.
comic.
You know, hey, don't tell me how it ends because I haven't read it yet. So yeah, I made the venture out to pick that up, and they only had one copy, and it was the variant one here. Um, but waiting outside the shop, I went to the House of Heroes in Oshkosh. I've known some of the employees there. Out of a lot of them in our hour radius in the state here, I've really liked House of Heroes and their layout and their friendliness and just overall presence. So I decided to pick them. Plus, they were the ones that advertised what they were getting in and things like that. So I didn't have to make like a bunch of phone calls and things like that. I just saw, oh, cool, they're getting it. But waiting there, ready to bust down the door when they opened, um, there's probably about a dozen people, and
The
they've
line,
been around for a while. What's that? Yeah.
line around the
Well,
block. It was the death of Superman all over again.
I was gonna say, what's going on? Is Star Wars opening up for the first time? Um, but yeah, it was one of those where I wasn't nervous about that they were all there for X-Ray Robot number 3. There was a lot of big books coming out, whether it was Three Jokers, the Batgirl issue, the Spawn issue. There was a lot of big things that were coming out this week, and issue 69 of Sex Criminals came out. But also, I gathered that those people were all, it's the Wednesday Warrior crew, and they all like said their number when they went up, and and then they went to the shelf to look at some other stuff and everything. So they all had like pull lists for the most part. But I was maybe about 3 or 4 people in, and they have the entire rack alphabetized uh, across all the publishers. So no matter what it is, X-Ray Robot's going to be in with a Marvel X-Men title. They're going to be next to each other. So I knew exactly where to look. I had known that going in. So everyone was there, and they got a huge wall for it. And I'm like, well, my book is way on the end, so I'm not going to like. Plus, with social distancing, I didn't need to be one extra body uh, standing next to each other. So I was able to skip past some aisles and go right to mine. And there was one person that was kind of hanging over in the XYZ area. And I saw from afar there was only one copy sitting there of X-Ray Robot. But I wanted the experience of taking a picture of it on the rack and like get all that stuff for my own personal. This is all stuff, by the way, that would have happened at Crimson Cowl. I would have made you guys put it on the rack, my copy or something,
Except
so I
for
could.
where it would have been located on the rack, because we organized ours um, in a different way.
Yeah, but I would have forced you guys to make a big deal out of it, of me coming in on that Wednesday being like, yes, I would like a copy of X-Ray Robot number 3, and then
And I
Kurt
would
would
put
point
my
where it is.
David's pick of the week sign on there so that
Yeah.
because I blocked you.
And so I saw that, and I wanted to get my picture, but also I'm like, well, what if I'm sitting here too busy taking a picture, and the guy's like, oh, X-Ray Robot, and then it was gone, and then I have to convince him and unmask and say, hey, I'm in this issue, I get this. I've got 80 plus copies coming, but I want this one. But so I grabbed it. That way I had it in my possession. And then, he was just shopping around. And then I put it back, took my picture, and then grabbed it again. Because, yeah, like I said, I wanted my picture of it on the rack that says new and everything. Because even though I could recreate that experience here probably, and make it believable that I was in a comic book store, but
I got racks. You can just throw it on
yeah. What if I bring the 80 plus copies and we just fill every space?
Here we go. Get a picture of that.
I have an idea that I'm assuming I'll get mine Saturday, which, by the way, because I'll give you your copy when I would come back, the next week for it, so you have it right before we talk about it, obviously. But uh, my plan right now is to take all my issues before I hand them out to the people, that friends and family that ordered them and stuff. I want to lay them all out on a big space. I'm thinking about going to the back room at work and having that all cleared out. And I might be able to spell X-ray robot or maybe just X-ray. It all depends how big and crazy, but I want to take advantage of having all those and take one grand shot, get on the 20-foot ladder and take a cool aerial shot of it and everything. So I'll probably spend like an hour doing that and some night after we close. So
Well, I was gonna say, I think if I remember correctly, the section of rack that we left up here holds 60 titles. So you could even get rid of 20 of them and still be able to do that here.
which is funny because I think that's a roughly 20 that people have said they wanted. I knew there was going to be a list of people that they were excited about it, but never actually like told me like, "Hey, can I get a copy?" And I know that once like it's being talked about, I knew that there was going to be more people afterwards. But those 20 people that
Well,
had said like, "Hey, give me a copy."
some people might want a couple because they want you to desecrate, I mean, sign. Uh,
Defecate? What did you say? There might have been a Zoom glitch in there. I heard you say defecate. Some what?
yeah, yeah. You're
Just
gonna
put some
spread them out over
cocoa,
the bathroom at work?
put some cocoa puffs on there.
It was
By the
really,
way, I just got a message from Kirby that said, "Oops," which I think was him talking about "Oops all berries." He must have heard the same live feed that Sassy Cow's listening to, so he's probably talking about "Oops all berries."
tell him he's on time for next week. Probably. I think next week will be back to the regular one. Tammy and Ethan both are able to go back to work starting Friday, so next week should be fine.
Yeah, my guess is that he jumped on thinking, it's almost 8 o'clock, and then he, sent the message. So, but yeah. Anyways, more talk. I'm going to go into details. We talk about it in 2 Saturdays from now, which who knows what that means to the people that are hearing and listening to this. Like,
So 2 Saturdays from now, so the same time this will go up.
yes. So yeah, just follow the Crimson Cowl Comic Club on all the podcast outlets and things like that where you can find it.
Yeah, the podcast outlet. That's where you go to get these cheap podcasts.
Speaking of which, I am. Before I explain why I'm asking you this, does this variant cover resemble anything that is a recognizable image to you?
Uh, it does, and I was actually trying to place it before, and I still haven't, and I'm probably going to feel stupid when I do, but
Yeah. Well, you'll feel less stupid than well, not really because I don't call. I'll say this: I don't call myself a music fan, diehard music fan. That's your clue.
yes, he's busting through it.
Yeah. So I had a friend that commented on it that was flipping out over that because he's a musician and he's into all that kind of stuff. And then I looked it up and realized like, oh, okay, I've seen that, but I
And
don't know enough.
that's why I couldn't place it because I was thinking comics.
Yeah. See, and that's funny because I'm sure it's been done before. There's I got it here just a second. The She-Hulk collection. This was issue number 1 from 2004, actually. She-Hulk cover is somewhat esque like that. They definitely kind of added some extra things, but I would say that's a paying homage or homage, if you will.
Yeah, so it's a cross between She-Hulk and a famous album.
Yes. But what's really cool is that if anyone's been reading X-Ray Robot, they'll know that in the back pages, they have a 3D conversion for the main cover and the variant covers. And this one is super awesome with the bricks busting through because the bricks are all floating out and then his giant robot foot is in 3D. And so this one really takes advantage of the 3D conversion. But yeah. Didn't see any follow-up message, so I'm guessing he just gave up and realized that,
Yeah, that's fine. We didn't really talk about anything this week that he would have any interest in, you know.
yeah. He's been begging for all these like food segments, and we like almost talk about cereal for an hour. I also said before we get too late with it that I was going to reveal a new toy purchase. So while I was at the comic shop, I was kind of browsing around, picked up a couple issues here and there, and figured, yeah, want to support the Oshkosh local. I mean, it's not local to me, I guess. Local enough that it's in the state and within an hour. But so I was browsing around and I saw this. I don't have the box nearby to see what brand, but I'll show. This is a teaser and turn it around. This is a creepy doll version of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the Netflix inspiration and the comic inspiration. But yeah, it's uh, I'm guessing this company probably does like this version for any recognizable pop culture things.
Is the comic
And then,
called Creepy Dolls?
yeah, creepy dolls, and then put them in recognizable outfits and stuff. Also came with a little Salem as well too. So, but yeah, I saw that and I figured, yep, I need that for my Archie corner.
And now there can be no doubt Anthony plays with dolls.
Yep, it's true. There's
Mine
several of
are
them
action
here. Yeah, this one would technically be a doll. So yeah, and if I leave her standing right there, that's not creepy at all. So actually, it'd be even creepier if I just did half of her face there. So
Uh, just
speaking of, hold on.
move subtly just a little bit, from time to time.
Another doll that's just happens to be here. China doll from the was one Oz the Great and Powerful movie.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of looks like if the Sabrina doll wasn't a creepy doll.
Yeah. Here, this is it's a popular meme on the internet. This is great for the video people, awful for the audio people.
Now,
Uh,
when you got the other one, I mean, was there some assembly required?
no assembly, no. Everything came in one piece, and thankfully, because I didn't have any super glue or anything like that to there's a popular meme where it says like how it began and then how it started, and they'll show like two. I'm assuming it's just related to 2020 of just like how the year started and how it's ending or something, and it shows, you know, let's use Damon's favorite person, Sarah Michelle Gellar or something. So it might show her like, you know, uh, how it started. It might show like one of her glam pics or something. She's all in makeup and a dress and blah blah blah. And how it ended, it might just show her like no makeup and not showered and hair a mess and whatever, just to kind of show two different extremes of how much things have changed. So in this case, this would be how it began with the doll from Oz Great and Powerful, China doll, and then how it ended, Dark Sabrina. So, which is a great segue to December 31st, the final the final season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Also, the finale of 2020.
That's right. Yeah, they're both being released on the same night. So, and then we all know January 1st, new year. That means everything's going to be better. So, immediately on day one, that's what happens,
I
right?
was just telling somebody at work today, 2021 is going to be worse, and they're like, "How do you know?" They said, "45 years of experience. Every year gets worse."
Yeah. That's what I keep thinking about. Like, yeah, while everyone collectively wants 2020 to be over as a calendar year, but I always think I'm like, well, that doesn't mean that January 1st just
Yeah,
means
the grass isn't always
okay.
on the other side of the calendar.
Yeah, it's not a reboot. Like we're not just a hard reboot, and we're just try again. It's just like no, we'll still have the same stuff. So
2020 2.0.
yes, but yeah, I figured throw those little things out there, and I figured I was gonna. That's why I was waiting for Kirby on that one at least, because of him and Shelly's fascination with creepy stuff and dolls and creepy dolls, and I think that would be right up their alley. So,
Speaking of creepy dolls, did you get batteries?
nope, nope. Because when I made my trip out and got all my stuff and got home, and then I saw the Deadpool head, and I'm like, "Yep, forgot batteries." But when I will be talking to you to stop by for the payment and things like that. So I will then I'll be in West Bend and usually make a weekly trip to Walmart to pick up a couple things here and there, and batteries will be on that list. Unless you got batteries in the diamond shipment today. Are those coming?
Does it take CDs or actual
It
batteries?
does actually. It does.
They
It
actually
said
are.
batteries or Doctor Who audiobooks.
Yeah, it's an audio book, but I'm trying to think, are these actual like CDs in here? Because it doesn't actually say, but that's that size. So I was just thinking, well, these days, how do audiobooks come? Do they throw them on CDs, or it didn't come on like a cassette tape or anything?
It just has a sheet of paper on it that says, "Here, download this code on the website." So, but they want to keep the experience of
You
the
have
old
to rip
CD.
it off in front of Kurt.
It's got to rip it and click it off. So, yep, yep, yep.
All right. Well, I guess it's actually time to wrap things up, anyways. So I guess we'll have to do the Deadpool head next time.
Yep. By then, I should hopefully remember to get batteries.
So, yeah, and then yeah, I got to talk to Kirby too, because he can swing by and buy one of them, and I've got at least one other one to sell. So if anybody's listening and watching and interested, let me know if you're looking for a Deadpool head. I've got at least one extra to sell. Another one was claimed, but now payment's been pushed off to supposedly Friday. I actually took it to work to give the guy, and he found out that I had it, and he's trying to get me to bring it in so he could see it and everything. And I'm like, nope. You got the money? Friday. Oh, I'll bring it Friday.
Yep. Money seems like an important thing to get out of the way when you're dealing with something of that price point. But yep, no greater message to end on. Just what David said is that if you need head, just call David.
All right.
It's essentially what you said. So yeah, episode title. Just click it cereal. Click it cereal.
Click it cereal.
Cereal click it. Click it cereal. That's my suggestion.
Reese's.
What's that?
I love Reese's.
Yeah. Cereal dicks.
Sassy cow cereal. Oh, I was going to mention too, the cowl thing reminded me, and I didn't even bring that up. I just suddenly brought back memories of when we first started the business, and there's a couple of people as we were getting our business license and everything else, that somebody asked me, so what does that mean? They wanted the story behind it. Crimson cow. No,
This is the Under the
Well,
Cowl podcast.
that was almost accidentally our name was Crimson Cow.
Yeah, and you know where you get Under the Cow? You get milk.
Crimson Cow cereal.
High five.